We are late, and it's my fault. No matter, I've been doing this for years now, and I always run every now and then. I run into technicalities. My cousin Rob, oh, it was Rob, my cousin Momo Comics. How's it going, Rob?
It's fine on fine. I thought I was going to be the one running late, but
No,
it's all good.
yeah, he sends me a link. Can you do I have the link yet? And I forgot to send it to him with about 3 minutes to go to the show, so I had to send it to you through Instagram really quick. That was my bad. But I've been having technical difficulties with my computer, but we're here. We are live, and this is up on comics. This is like our fourth or fifth week now of doing this. I always appreciate you coming on with me. I know you're more of a busy person than I am. I'm single. I'm retired. You're not. You're the opposite of that, But I always appreciate you coming on with me.
No, man, it's actually really fun. It's like a highlight of the weekend when I get to do this with you. So, no, I appreciate it. And then going back to your computer, I mean, it might be time maybe for an upgrade. I don't know. You're more like on media, like so your hardware might need an update because you mentioned it might be over 10 years or close to 10 years
Some
with
I know it's over 5 years for sure. I don't remember exactly when I got this. I have a Mac, and everything else is working fine. But for some reason, some of the links, like for the audio and video, which should be connect when you click on a certain link, like I have a Yeti microphone, I click on it and it doesn't connect to it. So I'm not sure if I'm using the iMac microphone that's built in or the Yeti microphone. And earlier this week, I was on with my buddies from the UK and Ireland, and I had to put on my headphones because they couldn't hear me correctly. They couldn't hear; it was too much echo or something, So I had to put on my headphones like you have, But we're here,
yeah,
and
we're here.
this is up on comics. I always send the link to our family, but our family has yet to show up.
It,
So who knows who will be the first one to show up? And I don't think we have any comments. Yep, no comments so far, but whoever shows up, we always appreciate you coming on. And we do this. I think I can speak for you, Rob, is comic books is just a passion of ours. And we just like talking about comic books, just having a good time. It's
yeah.
basically what the show's about. And you ready? Oops,
Yeah, man, let's do it.
here. So yeah. We this show was supposed to be on Saturdays. I told Rob, let's do this on Saturdays, but for the last 2 weekends, it's been on a Sunday. But Saturday, I just been a little bit busy for the last 2 weeks. But next Saturday, we'll talk about where I will be and where you will be. So we may have to do this. If I do this on Sunday, I may have to go solo, unless Rob's on the road somewhere, can join me for a couple minutes. But we may skip next week, just to let everybody know. So, but let's get going. Okay, so this first segment is a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Basically, Rob and I, we look at subject matters, entertainment, comic books that happened within the last week. And, we discuss it, we look at these subject matters and whatever they may be. But let's get to the first slide. And here is the first one. This is Hulk versus Thanos finally proves that Hulk can win. I thought this was interesting. This is from Screen Rant. A new comic offers a thrilling battle between Thanos and Hulk. The fight featured in the issue is everything MCU fans wish they had gotten, and it's actually Hulk who finally emerges victorious by embracing a tactic he never used against the Mad Titan before, fighting dirty. Don't even know if this book is out. I tried looking for it. I think you can order it recently. This just came out this week. So I think this is a future, advanced order. But yeah, I'm definitely going to read this book. Fighting dirty. When has he not fought dirty? So I'm curious to
Yeah.
see what the heck he does.
Right, like he just rages out and goes
Yeah,
nuts typically. Like
yeah,
even when he's the good guy, like,
yeah.
he is pretty brutal. So, Everett, let me ask you this cuz like I mean, I read the Hulk, or I used to read the Hulk, but I never actually read him encountering Thanos. Like, you know what I mean? Like the last like the Ewing run, I read that, Planet Hulk,
Yeah.
um the what was it? Even what the most recent one when Bruce Banner was like the pilot of the Hulk, like
I
in the
didn't get
spaceship. Remember that was a weird one.
I didn't get that
Uh
at all, man.
but no, but like I've read all these Hulk books, like some of the more modern Hulk books. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think I can recall him going toe to toe with Thanos directly. Have you read any?
There was a mini series. I'm recalling it right now. About 5 years ago, Hulk versus Thanos. I didn't read it for some reason, but that's the last one I remember, which was about 5 years ago. I don't know what happened in that book. I just didn't read it, for some reason. But that's the last time. So yeah, I don't think they fought in much, but I think this probably has to do with the movie when they fought, and Thanos basically just kicked his butt.
Yeah, I think everybody was surprised because
Yeah,
it was a short fight. It was
yeah.
early into that film, and
Yeah.
then when they did have an opportunity for a rematch, they didn't.
No.
Right? Like,
No.
it was kind of like one of those missed moments that people, I think, really wanted to see.
Now there was talking about Hulk versus a god, so to speak. There was a time also over 5 years ago when Hulk fought Odin. It was no contest. Odin just obliterated the Hulk. It wasn't even a fair fight. He was like nothing to him. I was like, damn, he took care of him quick. I was like, whoa, I was surprised by that. But that's the last big fight that I remember of Hulk fighting a god, so to speak. But I'm curious to see how this storyline, ends or, begins, so to speak. And I'll keep my eye on it. If I see the book, I'll let you know. We'll read it and we'll give our opinions of it.
Yeah.
Interesting, very interesting. See what happens. And the next slide, I've seen this too, but I didn't put in the slide. You must have read my mind, because I do want to watch this series.
All right, so I mean, I love wrestling.
Yeah.
I know Efren. I mean, I remember you talking about your dad in wrestling
Yeah.
and
I was about
Cow
to bring that up.
Palace and all those events.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, this is an interesting like mini series. Like, I think 8 episodes are out. Janine, my wife, and I were about halfway through, and even
Oh,
Janine,
wow.
she's into wrestling too. When we were dating, I mean, it was like a ritual.
Nice.
We would we'd flip channels between WCW and WWE.
Okay.
But yeah, watching the story, like, and it goes from the very beginning, like Vince McMahon, how he came into power, recruiting wrestlers from other organizations, and then it's gonna catch up to where we're at now. Hulk Hogan's in it quite a bit,
Okay.
and it's not like a flattering portrait at all, but I do think it's pretty tasteful in the way that they handle some of the issues. As tasteful as it can be, I will say. I mean, they even have his rivals like being interviewed in this mini series, so you learn a lot about the wrestling like industry. Uh, and Vince McMahon, he's been around for a long time.
Yes.
I think that kind of like looking, because they have him. He's in the documentary being interviewed like throughout every episode. So when they flash back, to like the early 80s, and you're like, man, he's definitely has had his hands in a lot of things,
Yeah.
when it comes to just like pro wrestling, pop culture, how the business structure is even now. Like, it's pretty much them. Like, there's AEW, and I haven't gotten to the final episode yet, so I'm wondering if they're going to address that. But yeah, it's if you like wrestling, if you're curious about the like history behind it, it's a pretty interesting watch.
I seen the trailer, and what I want to see, I want to go back on you. I'm going to watch the series too, because I think it's so fascinating. But in the trailer, he did an interview with this, reporter, and they show him getting like pissed off at him, just blowing it, but he's being basically accused of all these things that are happening to these young wrestlers dying at such an early age. I want to go after I see this series, or before, I want to go see if I can find that interview on YouTube. That part was fascinating, unless they show most of it on the documentary.
Now, not at length. They hit a bunch of interviews, and like the last episode that we watched, I mean, it kind of reminded me. Do you remember, with the steroid controversy in sports, right? Like
Yeah.
with the MLB and whatnot.
Yes,
I think that was like front page stuff, right? When it came to
yeah,
steroid use, was the baseball players, but he was prosecuted as well for
yeah.
offering his wrestlers steroids, not selling them, but giving them access to it.
Mhm.
And so he basically was indicted and went to federal court.
Yeah.
And so like it even it even gets into that. Like that's you know, which is kind of unexpected to really see nowadays. Like this stuff being brought to light. So it covers a lot of like the ugly of what he's gone through. Um, the last episode we're about to start now, I think, is the Attitude Era, which is pretty much like when Janine and I, that was like the late 90s,
Mhm.
when Janine and I actually started watching it together. So we've covered everything before that. So it's good. So if you like wrestling,
Yes.
if you want to see kind of like how it's evolved and changed, and a lot of it really does deal with Vince McMahon.
Yeah. Looks fascinating. Like I said, I just watched the trailer. Haven't seen the first episode, but this is definitely on my list to watch. So
Yeah, definitely worth the time. Check it out.
yep. Next slide says, I found this interesting. I knew this was going to happen, but it looks like they announced it. This is it's a rumor. It says Venom will travel to MCU from SSU and Venom: The Last Dance post-credit scene.
All right. Can I just say I hate SSU? Like even the acronym sounds bad.
I had to look it up. What's SSU? And that's like Sony Spider Universe, right? Something like
Yeah,
that.
like
Yeah.
it's you just they've botched it so much, and even the acronym looks ugly to me.
Yeah.
It's like
I
like
had to look
sus.
it up. I go, what's SSU? What is that?
That's
But
how bad it is. You of all people had to look it up.
I had never even heard of it, but this will be the most likely the last of the trilogy of the Venom films. We'll see how it ends. I know he's gonna probably jump over to the MCU in some manner or another. But in the last Spider-Man movie, when all these villains crossed over to Spider-Man's universe or to the 616, I forgot what universe, but there was a little glob left
Yep.
on the table.
Yeah,
So
it
I'm
was.
not sure if they're gonna talk about answer that in the movie too, or how it's gonna happen.
I do hope they do the
Yeah,
black suit in the MCU. Like it's a good storyline, and as bad as the Tobey Maguire version of it was, it's still
yeah,
fun to watch. And
yeah.
yeah, Venom in the MCU, black suit, Spider-Man, like people would react to that. I think
Oh
that
yeah,
that would be one that definitely would draw the crowds.
that's for sure. So we'll see what happens at the end of this movie. And this is you. This is not you, but this is you wanted to talk about this film. Talk to me. I seen the trailer that you sent me. If you looked at my other videos, scary movies for some reason they just make me feel really uncomfortable. But I'm
Well,
starting to get more and more into it because my buddies that do videos on them, Peter and James, over there in Europe, they've they haven't made me watch scarier movies, but I've been getting more accustomed to them, so to speak.
I mean, I like certain scary movies. Like I don't like the overtly gory, you know what I mean? Like Saws. Like I
Yeah,
get it, but it's just not my cup of tea.
yeah,
Uh, I like Evil Dead. I like The Conjuring. A24 is a movie studio, and their movies tend to be pretty interesting to me, even the ones that aren't that strong. And this is one of them. Uh, like this one has a lot of potential, like to continue on, but yeah, it definitely had a nice ending to it. I will say, like, I liked how they wrapped up this story, but they can continue it, So I wouldn't be surprised if we see another one. But basically, the hand that you see there in the promo art, it's like a severed. It looks like a ceramic, like embalmed hand. But when you hold it and you say that certain words, light a candle, like you then basically get to see uh someone who's passed or a demon. It's
okay,
kind of fuzzy on that. Uh and the story is that it is a severed hand of a fortune teller, like someone who could talk to the dead. Uh and it's in there, like in the embalmed thing. And so anyway, there's kids who basically have it, like these
yeah,
teenagers, and they're doing what you would think, social media teenagers these days would do. They're recording, they're having parties, and they're doing this dangerous thing, and it just goes awry, basically, like as you would expect. Like someone's gonna mess up, and they mess up in the way that you would expect, like bad decisions from like these teens. But yeah, it was actually pretty good. I liked it. If they came out with another one, I'd watch it. But then again, like I said, A24, man, as a movie studio, like they put out some pretty good content. It's like an indie
Yeah,
studio.
yeah. So I don't think I ever told you this story. I just have like an aversion to scary movies. I think with my upbringing, for some reason, my mom in the 1970s, I don't know why she did this, but she took me to go see The Exorcist with Linda Blair.
Oh no, that's like a
Yes.
that's actually a really, like, even today, by today's
Yeah.
standard, like you watch it because like the tone of that
I was about 14-ish years old.
and
And
you went with your mom?
I don't know if my mom knew what she was taking me to, but I mean, it scared the bejesus out of me. I
Yeah.
kid you not. Some things you just remember. I got home. I went in my room. I did the sign of the cross. And I go, please don't let the devil hear. Please don't let the devil. I kid you not. I turn on the radio, and it was the theme song to The Exorcist.
That's like a formative moment for you, dude.
I was like, oh my God, this is it. So
Yeah,
that movie
yeah.
freaked me out. I think that led to my, so-called aversion to watching scary movies. But a couple years ago, I seen the Netflix series, The House on Haunted Hill, I believe it was.
Okay, yeah. That one's pretty fun.
When I start a series, I'm just determined to finish it, even though I didn't want to finish this series because I was watching it basically by myself. And every time they showed that picture of that girl that would just, be hung herself, and who it was at the end of the series, you seen the series, right? Did you see that series?
Yeah.
Okay. Remember the hanging girl?
Yes, no, I saw it. Yeah.
Yes. I was like, oh my God. I
Gotcha.
feel so bad for that girl. I was like, what the heck? But I just have an aversion to scary movies, but I've been watching more and more of them, just
See, and that type of horror, like that's good. Like I like it because it's storytelling,
Yeah.
it's interesting. If it's just like gore for the sake of gore, the story's kind of weak. Like I'm not gonna watch it.
Yeah.
But if this one was all right. So because it is Halloween season, kind of. I mean, it's October in 2 days.
Yeah,
but
Halloween. There's a Costco and Home Depot. It's Halloween already. So
what's interesting? So I went to Home Depot and they have all the Christmas trees out already up here.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm gonna watch this. If I watch it, I may wait for you to come over. But I don't like watching these shows or movies by myself. And a lot of times I'm by myself, so I do watch them. But
I watch
it looks scary.
Well, what about like From?
It's for some reason it doesn't scare me as much. It just I get nervous watching it, but it doesn't just like when The Walking Dead first came out, I got nervous watching that. But I was just nervous, like anticipation of what's going to happen next. Because you know who these evil creatures are, and there's more. From reminds me more of like Lost. There's something going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. So yeah, From doesn't scare me as much. No, I find that's a good series.
Yeah, no, it is.
Yeah. All right, next slide. This series, Superman and Lois, is on the CW. The final season is coming October 17th. This has been a great series. I'm not sure if you've ever seen it or not, Rob, but I think it's on season 4 or 5, and it's just well produced. It seems cinematic to me, and this is the last season coming up. Unfortunately, I can't wait for this series to start up again. And I have really enjoyed this series from the very beginning. Very well.
I need to give it another shot because I remember seeing it and I saw like the first couple of episodes with the boys, like their kids.
Yeah.
And it just they bugged me. Like I was like, and maybe that was the point. Maybe that was the point of the one son that was like kind of like, come on, man. Yeah. Come on.
What about like I said, to me it almost seemed like a cinematic movie. I mean, the special effects were well done.
How many seasons is it?
This should be the 3rd or 4th season coming up.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give it another go. What's the main conflict right now, like with the plot?
I think it's been over a year since the last season came on, I believe. So I don't even remember what the last part of it was, to be honest with you, but just fighting a bad guy. I think it was a Bizarro Superman. They brought him.
Oh.
So yeah.
Okay, that could be fun.
Yeah, so see what it is, but I have really enjoyed this series. I don't think it gets enough credit, but it's coming in October 17th on the CW. I will be there. Even if it's a scary Superman and Lois, I will be there.
I mean, if it's Bizarro, might be a little scary.
Yeah. And This Is You. I've known about this movie, but I've never seen it. So it's called Civil War.
Yeah, it's on HBO. I watched it actually yesterday. Uh, and
Okay.
it's interesting. Kirsten Dunst is
Yeah.
in it, and I didn't even really realize it. But if you look at like the writer, like it says 26 Days Later, Ex Machina,
Yeah.
Annihilation. Those are all pretty good movies.
Yeah.
And this is a good movie too. It's interesting. I think one thing that kind of was obviously it's going to be on a lot of people's mind is like the political polarization happening now, even like we're still kind of like going through things as a nation. So
Yeah.
like they don't get too into the details of why a civil war is going on, but you know, seeing the landscape, seeing like people struggle, and it's all kind of like Americanized, definitely puts you in that frame of mind of thinking like, what if?
Yeah.
You know, it's a good movie. Like it, you know, it's a serious movie, but it's interesting because for us here in the United States, I mean, we don't see war here. You
Yeah.
know, like it's always somewhere else over there. You know,
Yes.
uh, and so yeah, just to kind of see the nature and the seriousness of the film, like how real they make it look. You know, it's like, oh man, you know. Yeah, I recommend it. Watch it, check it out if you got some time.
Do you like movies that make you think, or movies that you just take you away somewhere like Harry Potter, fantasy, you just watch it or movies like this, I think it makes you think,
I, I'm both. I mean, you know, I mean, depends on the mood. There was another movie I forgot to send you, and maybe we talk about it on the next one that is really really good, and it's more of the like just to get away.
Okay.
It's called Robot Dreams,
Oh,
and
I've heard about it. Yes.
yeah, what is it? Bendis,
Okay.
Michael Bendis
Yeah.
on Instagram. He went on. He's like, "This is the best movie I've seen all year."
Oh, wow.
No word. There's literally no dialogue, no words in it. It's like
Oh,
it's kind of like Wally. It's a cartoon.
yeah.
But not the Wild Robot, which is coming out like I think now. But robot, it's Robot Dreams. It's with a dog and a robot.
Okay. I'm thinking about another movie. Okay.
Yeah, it's really good. But maybe
Okay.
we'll talk about it next time.
Okay. Movie theater where you have to pay, or at home in your sofa drinking a beer. You can pause it whenever you want to.
Oh, I do like the movie theater, but I just honestly I don't go. You know, I mean it's kind of hard with time,
Yeah.
but I mean it's nice to sit in a theater. I don't like the crowds,
Yeah.
but yeah, there's something about seeing a movie in a theater, but
Yeah.
it has to be something to really motivate me to go see. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I
Yep.
think the last movie I saw in the theater was Inside Out 2. No, Wolverine Deadpool. Wolverine Deadpool. I did see that.
I've seen Wolverine, Deadpool, and the latest Beetlejuice in the movie. And it was empty both times. I was like, "Damn,
Yeah.
here, man."
Well, the thing is, like, you know, give it a month and you see it on Amazon, you could buy the movie for like 20
Yeah,
bucks,
yeah.
you know? So,
Oops, hang on for a second. Sorry. Okay. Next slide here. Let me see what we got here. This one just caught my interest. I heard about that the actress that played in Star Wars Rey says Rey's Star Wars Return is a story worth telling, according to Daisy Ridley. She may just be saying this for publicity to get people to watch the new series, that movies are coming out. And it says here, they simply asked if I wanted to do it based on an idea without the script being written yet. But if I hadn't been convinced by the concept, the movie wouldn't have been made. I took a day to think about it, and I told myself that I had great times making those films. This new adventure seemed fun to me, so why say no? My thoughts on the subject are quite simple. If I didn't think the story was worth telling, I wouldn't have come back. So it looks like these movies are a go, and they're going to tell Ray's continuing story. I wonder, I just wish that hopefully this will continue and will move forward. And as much as I will always have a special place in my heart with all the original Star Wars characters, I hope they just don't mention them at all and just move forward. I think it's past time. Yeah.
yeah, no, I'm gonna say this. I like Ray. I
Yeah.
mean, I like the new Star Wars movies. Like, were they perfect? No, there's some issues with that, but I enjoyed all of them.
Yeah.
I will say the bad parts of them, but as an actress, as a character, I like Ray a lot. I'm glad she's coming back. Hopefully the story's good. But I do agree with you. I don't think it needs to be everything Skywalker or even Palpatine. There's so
Yeah.
much in the Star Wars. Like, I mean, they have all these books. Go into the books. You
Yeah.
know, Afra is great. She's a
Yes.
comic book character that came out. Or get into the
The
Revan.
novels.
The
Yeah.
Revan, you know, I don't know if you know much about Darth Revan. That, I mean, he was a character that, oh man, people would go nuts if he showed up on the screen. But yeah, I think they need to expand past the traditional Empire
Yeah.
Skywalker conflicts. I think they need to get into their other resources.
Let me ask you a question. Since I'm slightly older than you,
What's that?
I was around when Star Wars first came out, and obviously you
Yeah.
were not. What was your take
Yeah.
when you first, if you remember, when Star Wars first came out? It was like obviously a global phenomenon. You know, I was like, oh my god, I got to see these movies. You know, the lines were so incredible just to go see this movie. And you know, like I said, I was around in the '70s or I think it's '70s, yeah, when it first came out, or '80s. What was your take on it since you grew up basically after these movies came out?
Yeah, so like my first exposure of it, I mean, it was the original trilogy too. Like, you know, obviously watching it at home at that point, but like, you know, Vader was scary. Like the scenes were like giants, you know, spectacles that I've never really seen before. And it's like, what is happening? Uh, you know, Jabba was gross. Like, I mean, it was all fascinating and kind of like, I think the thing with Star Wars is that it gets your attention and it captures your imagination. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? So I
yeah,
think that's like, in retrospect, as a kid, I didn't think that, but like as an adult thinking back, I think that's what happened. I mean, and we go to Star Wars Celebration, like,
oh yeah,
I read the books, you read the books as well, the comics and whatnot.
yeah.
There's something about it. I don't, it's fascinating and entertaining. And, as long as it's a good story and it's fun, like, people are going to show up.
What I like is that one of your sons is into Star Wars too. I think
Yeah,
it's
he's hard.
yeah,
He's hardcore into it too.
yeah,
Yeah. No, I
yeah,
remember when he was little. I
yeah.
mean, seriously, he'd watch the original trilogy. Like
Wow,
he'd
that's
want to
cool.
watch it all day.
Yeah,
Like so. But yeah, no, it's something we enjoy. And then Star Wars Celebration, Japan.
yeah.
I'll
Too
be
late for
that.
that. The badges are gone. You know,
Yeah,
we hesitated on that one big time.
but we'll
Yeah.
see what happens when it comes back.
Yeah.
Eventually, it'll come back to the States.
So basically, when Rob was born, I was about 20 years old. So I didn't put any attention to him until he got older. You know, a little bit older. You know, his teens. You know, but on to the next slide. Oh man, this is sad. You know, the Oakland A's. You know, today was their last game of their existence, so to speak. You know, they're moving for about 3 years at least. And where are they moving to, Rob?
Sacramento.
Your hometown.
Yeah, we're gonna get some good baseball up here, so I'm not mad at it.
Yeah. So yeah, but this is two Oakland A's fans caught trying to steal seats from the Coliseum. What else are they going to use it for? Let them have it.
So, but no, you know what? The interesting thing with this story, it wasn't the final game.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, no, this story it was like the second to final game, and they were like, "We're gonna do it anyway." And there's video footage of them just like trying to dismantle and rip the thing out.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think that was a big part of the controversy here with these guys. Because I think the final game was a matinee game, right? I think it was.
So. Yeah.
Yeah, but, no, these guys were just like, I'm taking it with me. What are you gonna do?
I've seen on the news, they showed it here in San Diego, some of the fans were giving like the groundskeeper like empty water bottles, and they were filling it with dirt from the Oakland Coliseum, which I thought was pretty cool.
That's cool.
A souvenir like that. So the A's are going to Sacramento for at least 2 years, probably 3. They're supposedly be going to Las Vegas, but they haven't even broken ground on their stadium yet. And I've been hearing reports that the city, some of the people that live there, they don't want the A's there because the same. Las Vegas has so many other problems. They should worry about that. The owner has been vilified. They even talk about him. He just basically gave up on the team, and he's just moving them to Sacramento for now. And I think this is really a team that's in limbo. who knows what's going to happen in 3 years. My odds right now, if you ask me, I don't think they're going to be moving to Las Vegas in 3 years. And I don't know what's going to happen to that team, which is unfortunate. It's not fair to the fans and to the players.
I think this is what I think. I think for the first season, at least, it's gonna be packed.
Yeah.
They're redoing the stadium. They're trying to make it like maximize the space, is what I've been told.
Sure.
Where they're gonna try to put more seats because there are areas of the stadium where they could put some seating. But I think Sacramento, they're gonna get a good reception. Whether there's A's fans or not. The question will be like, will that sustain for 2 or 3 years? But yeah, I think that first season up here, I think they'll be pretty popular.
One thing that they have going for them, and I hate to say this because I don't want anything good to happen to the A's owners. Sacramento is a great fan base. They have the Sacramento Kings there, which always have a big drawing. And we'll see what happens. I'm interested to see. I'll be going up there during the summer to watch a game with you, at least one, but it's going to have to be a night game, man. I don't know how they're going to do the there, man. In Sacramento, degrees. That's going to be crazy.
Yeah, but look at all the other cities that are like crazy hot too, that host MLB games. Like,
we'll see. We'll see what happens. Come next June or May. I think April. God, what am I thinking about? Baseball games starts in April. Yeah, I wish the A's players good luck. And I think it's going to be good for them in a way. I hate to see them leave Oakland, but I think they're going to be a lot more fans, at least for the first year, cheering them on, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Positive effect on them. All right, next slide. I put 2 slides together, basically. This is by CBR, Comic Book Resources. Lanterns eyeing 2 Netflix stars for DCU's Jon Stewart. I didn't even know this was happening, but it looks like there's going to be a Netflix series with I'm not sure if it's just going to be Jon Stewart focus or is this going to be Green Lanterns overall. And then on the right it says RoboCop TV series is in the works at Prime Video. Peter Atko, Black Sails, will serve as showrunner, and James Wan is set to executive produce. I think anytime there's superhero or these types of shows on TV is just a bonus for us fans to watch.
So I'm pretty certain with the Lantern show, that's the HBO show.
Oh, okay.
I think what the headline's saying is that the HBO show is looking at 2 Netflix stars to join the team.
Gotcha.
And I'm trying to see who they're looking up. But yeah, I know they got like Hal Jordan already like signed up.
Is it going to be animated or is it going to be live action?
Let's see. Okay, give me a second to look into it. I thought it was live action. I'm pretty certain it is.
I remember the original RoboCop movie. I was so fascinated by it. Just like, wow, this guy's, basically died and they made him to a cyborg. And I've never watched the subsequent. I know there's been another movies about it. And I think there's been some TV shows on it already. But I loved it when it first came out. I think the actor was Peter Weller, if I remember right, who played RoboCop the first time around. And I really enjoyed that. It had like a Terminator vibe to it, at least to me a little bit. But these are new shows that are coming soon, hopefully to a TV near us. And I didn't know the Lantern one was going to be on HBO.
The Lantern one. Okay, so I did a little bit more digging on like who they were looking at. They're trying to pick out Jon Stewart, and it's either they've narrowed it down or they're offering or looking into Aaron Pierre and Stephen James.
Okay.
And they've been on some Netflix shows. So we'll see who's gonna go. I'm interested to see it. I mean, a good Green Lantern HBO. I mean, I think it'll be interesting to watch.
X-Men 97 that just came back recently, or Justice League Unlimited. I think those are 2 of the best animated series of all time. I really, really enjoyed Justice League Unlimited. That was a really great series.
Oh, see, and that's another thing. Like DC, their animation, it's really good. But then you look at their movies, and I'm like,
what's going on?
Yeah. I mean, with the exception of Batman, I think Batman, they do a good job with his franchises. But yeah, man, they need to tap into their
So,
animated stories.
yeah. So we'll see. Yeah, hopefully these were coming up in the next year or so. And here's some more subjects that I just found interesting. This one on the left-hand side, I thought was pretty funny. It says, according to a report from Bleeding Cool, James Gunn is reportedly writing his own DC Superman comic book next year with Jim Lee doing the art. I went, wow, that's pretty cool. You know, Jim Lee
Yeah.
doing the art. But at the very bottom, James Gunn replied, you read it, says, dear God, no. Although working with Jim Lee would be amazing, I'd be dead if I took this on. I was like, oh, that's so funny. He replied to this own, post, and he said, no way am I going to do this. You know, I think he has his hands full too much. Now he could be just, misleading everybody astray, and he's really going to do it. But I believe more the bottom part. He says, dear God, no.
So, I mean, he might now. I mean, I bet you people are like, yeah, I'll buy that.
Yeah, me too. I'm like, oh, wow, I can't wait. Yeah. Jim Lee's going to draw it. I could take my money. But then he said, dear God, no. But we'll see.
Yeah, now he'll do it.
Now he'll do it. Yeah. The middle one, it says Batman villains Bane, Deathstroke getting movie treatment at DC Studios. This is an exclusive. I forgot where I got this post from. But it says DC will be doing some back-breaking development work to bring these criminals to the big screen. And we'll see if it happens or not. You know, if they do the characters right, I'm all for it. But hopefully it won't be campy.
Man, you know what? I mean, the thing that's saving it is that James Gunn is overseeing all the DCU stuff. But personally, I don't know. When they do the villain as like the anti-hero star, I don't know. It always kind of like makes me raise an eyebrow a bit. Yeah. Like, hopefully the story's good, and then hopefully it makes sense. But like, look at the Sony universe. They got Craven, Morbius.
Yeah.
Right. And they
just can't do it right.
Right. And even Venom. The Venom franchise, I'm gonna say it. I don't like it. Like, I've watched the last two, and I'll probably watch the third one. Yeah. But like, those two movies aren't good. I don't know.
I just don't know what Sony's doing. They don't want to give up the rights to Spider-Man because it's a money cow for them, obviously. The one on the right, I'm still a fan of The Walking Dead, and I watched season 1 of Daryl Dixon. This one, starts today on AMC, and it says Daryl Dixon, The Book of Carol. She's the actress who played Carol, supposed to be coming back for season 2. She was supposed to be in season 1, but it just didn't work out. But now he's in France. He ends up in France, and they show it in season 1 what happened, how he ended up in France, and then he decides to stay. And then the last episode of season 1, Carol basically starts looking for him, saying, what happened to him? That's where this. I haven't watched season 1. Like I said, episode 1 of season 2 starts today, and I'll be watching it. So I've always enjoyed the Walking Dead universe. And this one touched my heart. So a couple of days ago, Kermit the Frog, Oscar the Grouch, Gobble Fraggle honored Jim Henson's birthday. It was just a couple of days ago. His birthday was September 24th. It says Kermit the Frog, Oscar the Grouch, and Gobble Fraggle celebrate the late Jim Henson in a new short that was released in honor of his birthday. It's a really quick video. It's on YouTube. Where you just put the search button, you'll find it. It's only about 2 minutes long. But I thought it was just in honor of his birthday. What a great person he was. I watched his documentary on Disney Plus. If everyone watched it, I highly recommend it. Just talks about who he was as a person. Really great.
I need to watch that. I've seen it on Disney Plus. I just haven't gotten around it.
Yeah. He died so young too, So, but yeah, it was, like I said, you guys go on YouTube, you just, search under Kermit the Frog, Jim Henson's birthday. You'll see this video. It's really short. It's only like about a minute or two long. And, so this one I thought was interesting. It says U.S. court states Marvel and DC have lost their superhero trademark. I didn't even know that they had it to begin with, but it says U.S. courts have stated that Marvel and DC Comics have lost their joint-owned superhero trademark after they were challenged. So it seems like anybody now can use the trademark superhero, which I didn't even know was even a law.
Yeah, I kind of feel like everybody uses.
Yeah, me too.
Superhero,
Yeah. So it says this opens the term superhero for public use, befitting small creators like Super Babies Limited. The case argued that superhero is a generic term not deserving of trademark protection.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, me too. They've had
Like,
it for what, 60, 70 years now at least.
I didn't, but it's funny because I agree with you. I didn't even realize it was a trademark term.
Me neither. It's a vague word, superhero. It's
Yeah.
not like Spider-Man or Batman that has their name on it. It's just a superhero. But I just found this a little bit interesting. So, and let me see here. Since this, we talk about comic books, I just figured I'd show a quick snapshot of what some recent books are selling for. This is currently on eBay. There's this site called Lyria Exchange. I just found it by accident a few years ago, and they just have silver, gold and silver and all the ages, and they have all these books that are going for sale right now on eBay. You can look at them on one page. And I thought, I'd just show this. And this is Justice League of America #1, a CGC of 4.5, first appearance of Despero. Right now, there's 65 bids, and the current price is $482. And we have Amazing Spider-Man #14, Origin and first appearance of Green Goblin unpressed. Wow, it's a 7.5, and right now the current price is $2,500. And we have the first appearance of Mephisto, a CGC 4.0, only $146. That's pretty cheap. And this is 48 bids. I'm not sure how many days are left on it, but I can't read. I forgot. Oh, there's CGC 4.0. And then we have All-Star Comics #8, CG 1942, CGC, missing first, no grade. It looks like it's missing the front cover. First appearance,
Yeah.
Wonder Woman and story, 47 bids still, and $460 so far. And the last one is The Crow #1, CGC 8.5, second printing, 46 bids, and current price is $200. I said this was just a quick snapshot of some books that are for sale right now on eBay. I would go for I think #2, Spider-Man #14, but that's the most expensive one.
I don't know about #4 though. Without a cover, like I hate to say it, but like the cover is kind of a big part of a book. Like,
yeah, I think people just want a piece of history and think it's cheap.
Yeah.
And, 47 bids so far and 460. But it's no grade. So yeah, and this one I got from Cover Price. These are the weekly top 10 books ending 9/22, and you can see them from 1 through 10. Number 10, I have that book, Revival. I never read it, but I just bought the book. It's something to do with another zombie apocalypse. I found interesting that a lot of these books have to do with Venom, or actually Venom. Null, yeah, and a lot of them have to do with Null, because it came out in the last trailer for Venom that Null's supposed to show up in the last movie.
Yeah, I mean that actually reminds me. I probably should dig out for my the #9 on the list. I definitely have that.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm selling books, so I'm like, I need to sell that while it's hot.
Yeah. So sell it was I have #9 too, and this is the God. I think this is the book that the God Killer came out too.
Yeah.
And
Gore.
After that movie, it tanked. It didn't do well.
Such a good character though.
Yeah, they didn't do it justice.
One of the best Thor runs, hands down.
Yeah. So these are just top 10 from. I got this, like I said, a quick snapshot from Cover Price to see what's selling. And gosh, I took this one really quick, like in the last hour or so. I didn't realize today is season number 36 of The Simpsons. That is crazy. It's debuting. Episode 1 is debuting today on Fox at 8 p.m. 36 years, man. I think you were like 9 years old when it first came out.
Yeah, it was. I remember when it came out.
Yeah, crazy,
so
man.
the Simpsons, there's a Simpsons comic, and it's always been on my eBay watch list. I see them come and go. But like, yeah, for a 9.8 for the first appearance of the Simpsons in comic form at a 9.8, it's between $300 to $500 depending on the fluctuation of the market. For their first appearance was a polybag book.
I think I have that one.
It's a dirt cheap book, polybag, but finding it in a 9.8, yeah, it's like for me, like I would want that book just to have, like you mentioned moments ago, like it's a part of Simpsons history. I think there's going to be value for it later on.
Yeah. I mean, but just 36 years of this show has been on TV. That's crazy. And I
Yeah.
don't think it's slowing down, you know.
Yeah. I mean, they can keep going. It's
Keep going.
animation, right? Like,
It's obviously making them money. Fox too, the company Fox, because it's been going on over 36 years. I think it's gonna hit at least 50. That's crazy.
oh,
And
yeah.
let me see here. So LA Comic Con is next week, next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's at the Los Angeles Convention Center. I'm going Saturday. That's the reason I put this up there. They have a pretty good lineup of actors that are showing up. They're going to have a reunion of the Back to the Future cast, but I think it's on Friday. And they're going to have some of the Star Wars actors there. This used to be called Stan Lee's Kamikaze Con, and before that, I think it was LA Comic Con or something like that. But yeah, it's happening this weekend, and it's not as well known or as famous as San Diego Comic Con, but what is nowadays. But this Comic Con is coming up. It's in LA, and I'll be there Saturday checking it out. So hopefully, it's a good time.
Yeah, man. I'll be in the LA area, but I'll be at Disneyland.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna be there on we're coming down Saturday like afternoon.
Okay.
So we're gonna check in our hotel. We're not gonna go to Disney on Saturday. We're just gonna hang out.
Sure.
But Sunday we're doing Disney, and then we fly back up on Monday. But I looked at it and I was like, oh, wait a minute. Could I? Maybe.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I'd have to leave like a day early, but earlier than expected. But yeah. But no, man, take a lot of pics, dude.
Yeah. When you go to Disneyland, tip at 7 a.m. and at 12 a.m., on their app, they have a virtual queue for Pirates of the, for Haunted Mansion.
And, yeah, that's how they're doing it, huh?
That's how they're doing it. Just like they did Star Wars, the Rise of the Resistance, they did a virtual queue when it first started. We did it at 12 p.m. because we didn't get there till after 7, after 8 o'clock when it opens up. We weren't going to make that. And we got in pretty easily. And sure enough, the app tells you, hey, it tells you when it's your time to go to the ride, and it gives you an hour to do that.
But what's crazy is you said last time we were on, like, there weren't many changes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just people missing the ride because it's been shut down for a long time now.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I thought they were gonna like upgrade it, make it look, I don't know, nice and shiny like a brand new car. But I think it was just upkeep. I think it just needed to be like fixed. It's so old. They just had to make sure everything was working fine. But yeah, that disappointed me a little bit. I was like, wow. But they had the Nightmare Before Christmas characters integrated with the ride, which I thought was pretty cool. But it was just the same ride.
Yeah, they do that. Well, they do that overlay every like holiday season. Like, I do know this though. Like, Small World is shut down for the whole month of October.
Oh wow!
But but from what I know, it's usually to get it ready for Christmas because they do a major Christmas Small World thing. So
we're going again in November, myself and my daughter, and we have reservations for the cantina, the Star Wars cantina, which I've never been in there.
It's fun, dude. No, you'll like it. Yeah. You get 2 drinks. That's it.
You can just get 2 drinks and you can't get more?
2 alcoholic drinks and that is it. 2 drinks, period. Now, I think it's actually period, like non-alcoholic included.
Okay.
And the reason for it is they want to keep people going in and out. Yeah.
Now, there's this new restaurant. Well, not new, but they have new food there. It's by when you're going towards Star Wars Land. It's Bear. I forgot what it was called, but they have ribs there now.
The Hungry Bear Diner.
Yes, thank you. The Hungry Bear Diner.
Hungry Bear
restaurant there. They remodeled it, so I want to check that out too. Okay, let's see. Next slide here. When I was a kid, I was telling Rob I used to love like Ripley's Believe It or Not, Guinness Book of World Records, those types of shows. And just seeing people who did weird things or that happen out there always have grabbed my attention. So I just scoured the internet, seeing where I can find some. This next segment is just talking about just weird things that I found on the internet that have nothing to do with comic books, basic entertainment. But I guess it is some type of entertainment because it grabbed my attention. So the first one is, this one was like weird. It says a demonic 27-foot doll in town square terrifies locals. Never seen anything like this. Nobody puts baby in a corner. Residents in the English village of Rochdale are freaking out after a giant baby doll was erected in the town square, with some petrified pedestrian describing the installation as creepy. The 27-foot toy tot named Lily features giant movable limbs and a mouth that opens and shuts, plus a plus-size Pinocchio. There's a video of it. It says in a video posted to the Rochdale Borough Council's Facebook page, a group of school children is singing "Twinkle Twinkle Little Star" to this ginormous doll. I go, why would they do this?
Yeah, why are they doing that?
I have no idea, So this is, like I said, this is believe it or not, but yeah, I can't wait the video where the doll stands up and starts terrorizing this town. So I thought it was very, very weird.
And this is in England.
It's in England, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I
mean,
thought
you should ask right, Peter, right?
Yeah, this is BBC reporter, so it must be true. So I'll ask him next time I see these guys. Any type of food they'll sell as long as people buy it. But I said, what the heck is this? It's limited edition or Hormel Black Label Cinnamon Toast Crunch flavored thick cut. I am not going to try this. If you try it, Rob, let me know. Maybe one of the kids may like it, pique their curiosity. But I went cinnamon toast crunch flavored bacon.
Well, I mean, they got like different flavored bacon, like maple.
I love
bacon, for instance, right?
Yeah.
So I could see them doing like a brown sugar, maybe cinnamon, but I would think it would burn. And looking at the bacon in the picture,
yeah,
like you can kind of see how it's like burnt around it. You know what I mean? Because yeah, sugar will burn. So I'm curious though. I would try it. I totally would try it. If I see it, I'll buy it.
All right, let me know. We'll do a live take on it. You eat it and see what happens. Next one is, I thought this was just pretty funny. It says world's largest cheesecake served at Cream Cheese Festival in New York. The 1,450 pound crust consists of 750 pounds of graham crackers, 250 pounds of sugar, 450 pounds of butter, and was filled with 13,558 pounds of ready-to-eat cheesecake filling. And don't worry, none of it went to waste. I was like, oh my gosh, why would they do this? I mean, I'm sure they were just having fun doing it.
Yeah.
But, well, this is extreme.
And you know what? If you're at a festival and someone's just giving away free cheesecake,
yes,
you're gonna take it.
Yeah.
so I believe that they don't have any left.
And these are everybody's just having fun. I'm sure they're into it. They're at a festival and says, yeah, let's go eat this cheesecake. I would have loved to have seen somebody jump in it.
Yeah, man. That's wild.
Yeah. So I think I have one more. Yeah, this one just tripped me out. I just seen this. As police say a pair, these are teenagers, says a pair took a New York City subway train on a joyride and crashed it. They have arrested one teen. They have arrested a teenage girl. They say took an empty New York City subway train on a brief joyride before they crashed it and fled. They're looking for the male companion. I've never been on a subway, New York City subway. I would assume the door would have been locked for the conductor. And how do you turn it on?
How do you crash it? Like, do they run into like another subway like train that was like stationary? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I was like, wow, man, these kids
look at the way she's dressed too. It's like she came ready for it, like pink matching everything. Like people are gonna notice you if you're wearing that much pink, giant, like this looks like a shower cap even. Like,
I just want to know
nothing subtle about it.
Yeah, how they got on the train. I mean, it couldn't have been a running train that was already in the subway, because there was conductors in there, people running them. How did they know where to go? They probably live in a city, so they probably figured it out and started up. And there has to be some kind of security there. But yeah, I thought this was pretty funny.
Yeah, no, that's What's up with security?
Yeah,
great point.
And this one, you go on YouTube and just put under search, Auburn cheerleader welcomes Oklahoma with wild backflip key to player's helmet. This is a college game. The players are coming out of the stadium to the game, and somehow there's this cheerleader in between them, and the cheerleader is doing backflips, and one of the backflips, she takes out one of the players. And it was a pretty brutal hit, too. It wasn't nice and easy. Just backflips. All of a sudden, the player just laid out.
Oh, man.
So I thought it was pretty funny. And it's a quick video on YouTube. It's only like about 10 seconds long, but you can see it on the right-hand side, the person doing the backflips, and then they just lay out one of the players going into the stadium. So I thought it was just pretty funny. And I think, so this is another new segment. We're coming towards the end, everybody. This is Up on Comics and Down on Comics. These are just, we pick something that we like about comic books or entertainment or anything, and something that we just don't totally agree with. My first Up on Comics, I was telling Rob earlier, I'm really into indie books. I love indie books now. This started like about 5-6 years ago. I used to read like 99% of my books were Marvel books. That's all I ever read. Even DC, I hardly ever touch, which I read now more than I used to. But I really enjoy indie books by Boom Studios and Image and other publishers. I like Something's Killing the Children. I like Philadelphia. I'm reading this book called Kaya right now. They're really, really interesting. And what I like about indie books is they don't have that long history that you have to follow sometimes when it comes to Marvel or DC comic books. We're talking about characters who are over 60 years old now. That's what I really enjoy reading indie books more than ever before.
Yeah, no, indie, especially during COVID, there was like a big, like boom, and literally boom. It was a publisher, right? Boom Studios came out just like with so many hits. 8 Billion Genies, great story. You mentioned Something's Killing the Children. What's another indie book that was like really, really big? I mean, Invincible, Image.
There you go.
Image kind of like treads a fine line. I feel like they have such a big following now at this point.
True. Yeah.
But yeah, indie books have just like skyrocketed, I think. And it's cool because it's fresh, it's new.
Yeah.
My
Down on Comics segment is when I was younger, the crossover events, specifically Marvel, when the X-Men would show up on a Fantastic Four book, or the Avengers and Fantastic Four would team up. The original, one of the first team crossovers that I remember was the Avengers versus the Defenders in the 70s. I used to love those crossover events now, but now they seem more commonplace, and that's my Down on comic books. They just don't grab the same attention to me. When I was younger, maybe that might have something to do with it, but crossover events just don't hold it. They don't hold up like they used to. I mean, I still like crossover events, but they just seem more commonplace, which I think is a bummer. I think they should just do it like for special occasions every couple of years. Don't throw it at us all the time.
Yeah, with crossovers, I agree. Like I think it does become kind of like commonplace where it's like, let's do a crossover. But the thing with crossovers that frustrate me, and Marvel was really, really bad at this, especially like in the 2000s, was when they would spread out the issues like over across different like titles.
Okay.
And it was like, I don't normally collect Iron Man, but now I got to get Iron Man. And then in order for me to fully understand it, I need to get more Iron Man than I really want to.
Yeah.
And it's like, before you know it, you're like getting like 30 books.
Yeah.
Just to really kind of like get into the crossover like you want to. So that's my down on crossovers. I think for a while now, it's, like I'm thinking like even back in the 80s and 90s era, right? Like those crossover events were just in those events.
Yes.
Now it's everywhere. Like, it's like the whole landscape of the universe, the Marvel universe. You're gonna have to like tap into other titles, which I guess that's the strategy, right? They want you to try out an Iron Man comic. Maybe you'll like it. Maybe.
Yeah, that's a great point, man. I mean, when it comes to crossover events, there's so many other books. There may be like about 30 other books. I went, oh my God, that's too much to read. I just like, reading the main, like Blood Hunt. I just read those books. I did read some of the, other books about it. Like it was a crossover event, so to speak, because it was happening all over the Marvel universe. But sometimes I try to just to focus on the main series. Sure, I'm going to miss out on some of the things that happen, off site, so to speak. But yeah, there's so many books when it comes to crossover events. That's another thing. That's a good point. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is, like I said, it's a new segment, Up on Comics and Down on Comics. We just picked, certain subjects that we like about comic books or some that we do not like. What did we buy this week? This is becoming our fastest segment because we don't buy as many comic books as we used to. And Rob said he has some books or a poster. You said he's going to show it to us next time, correct?
Yeah, I got a print. It's a pretty cool print, but it's in the tube still.
Okay.
Like it's in, I want to get it in a frame.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I always put like a print when I'm on here with you, or I try to at least.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I got a new print. It's from Bottleneck Gallery.
Okay.
It's a cool print, but I'll have it. I'll try to have it ready for the next one of these shows that we do.
We have been collecting comic books for such a long time. That artist behind you is Sienkiewicz, right?
Yeah. Like, I mean,
yeah.
This is like one of those famous like New Mutants
Oh,
covers
yeah,
that he did, and it's signed at the bottom there.
Oh, wow. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Yeah. I got this one from Sideshow.
Okay.
You know
That's
how they
pretty
do
cool.
prints every now and then? But
Yeah,
yeah, I like Mondo prints,
Yes.
Bottleneck Gallery. I like them too. But like the problem with prints is you see them, and if you don't put them in a frame, they
Yeah.
just sit somewhere, right? So it's
I
like
have a bunch of those in my closet. So
right, yeah. So I'm trying to get better at that. So I got this print. I'll try to get it framed up. I'll bring it for the next show. But yeah, it's pretty cool. There's an awesome story to it.
cool. So I just have one comic book that I got this week. It was on eBay, and I have a lot of. There's 3 comic books left of number ones or the first appearances of Marvel characters that I want to get. And when am I going to get these? It's Thor, Iron Man, and Hulk. Those are the last 3 that I have that I want to purchase. The first appearances. And then I started thinking, God, that'd be so cool if I got like the first 10 episodes or the first 10 issues of every character that came out. I'm going, God, I wonder how close I am to some of these. But that being said, I bought this book because I have issues number 1 and 2, and I believe I have some of them up to 10, but I didn't have this one. It was on eBay. I'm going to show it to you and guess, Rob, how much it cost me. You ready?
Oh, man.
Let me see if I can make myself bigger here. Let me see here. I'm going to do solo layout for a second here. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see it. So you got a Raw Avengers. Oh man. I was gonna say that's wait, can you bring it up for a little bit? You want me to guess how much?
And here's the back cover.
Man.
Okay, this was sold. I bought this recently on eBay. Let me see if I can get a good cover picture here. Here we go. I think it's about a 4. I'm going to clean and press it before I submit it to CGC. I'm very careful when I do that because it's a very delicate book, but I think it's at least between a 3 and a 4. My humble opinion on this.
Yeah, I can't see the spine too well from that angle.
Yeah. I don't want to take it out of this cover.
I think, I mean, it looks I would say about that, maybe between a 3 and a 4.
Yeah. Oops.
All right. So you got a couple comments here.
Oh, I do. Okay. Hang on for a second.
Yeah. So Efren's trying to, he's asking like, how much do you think he paid for it? Man, I don't know, dude. I honestly, I don't know enough. But yeah, I'm thinking 3 or 4. But I can't, I can't really see the spine from that angle. But that looked about right.
It cost about $350. If I remember here. Look at some.
Okay, I was gonna guess $400.
Yeah, it was under $400.
And that, okay, yeah, because I was just, and I'm going off of the earlier slide when we were the first appearance of the Green Goblin.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking. Like, okay, maybe that's the closest comp.
Okay, so look at some of the comments. Who Dat Comics? Hey, what's going? I mean, John's Comics and Kids. Hey, thanks for showing up, John's Comics and Kids. I just showed off a recent purchase I got on eBay, and I was just asking people how much do you think I paid for it. Who dat and movies and comics, $46. I wish I paid 46.
Oh, now go to the next comment. $46. I'll take 2.
400.
I think he was talking about the grade.
Oh, the grade. Yeah, I think it's about a 4 too. Yeah, I believe it's about a 4, but it cost me about $350 if I remember right. It wasn't over $400. So yeah. Hi there, Who Dat. Hey, John. John is saying hi to Who Dat. Guys, thanks for showing up. I realized that after my cousin told me Who Dat, I'm old. You know, I go 46. I went, I wish it cost me that much. Yeah, I think it's between a 4 and a 5. You know, I'm gonna clean and press it, and you know, we'll see what the grade is. Okay, so my next comic books, and am I out of focus, Rob? I think I might be out of focus.
A little bit, yeah.
Hang on for a minute, guys. I'm gonna stop the camera. I'll be right back.
It's a lot of clicking. That means you're
Yeah.
working.
Okay, so these 3 books, they were authenticated by CBCS, and I'm thinking I'm gonna crack them and get them regraded through CGC, because I do like the way their yellow labels look now. For, you know, they're gonna authenticate it over there. So I was gonna show you them, the grades, before I do anything to them. This is Infinity Gauntlet #1. It was signed by George Perez. This is the very first book, came out in 1991. And you can see his signature right there.
Yeah, he has a pretty distinct signature too. So
here we go.
You know what I mean? Like George Perez's signature is pretty identifiable.
So the signature is right here at the bottom. I'm going to crack this book open, and I'll let you guys know when I get it back, and I'm going to clean and press it again, and I'm going to resubmit it. I'm going to submit it to CGC with their new authentication. And I have 2 more here. This is one of my favorite artists. This is Ms. Marvel by Michael Turner. This one also was a 9.6. I don't know if you can see this one.
Yeah.
It's so white, this one.
Yeah, I know which one it is, but yeah, that glare's making it tough.
Yeah, this one is everything's white on this one, so you can't even see it that well. But I'm gonna crack this one. You can see the grade is a 9.6, and I'm gonna, you know, crack it and clean it and get it, you know, done at CGC. And the last one is another George Perez one. It's Tales of the Teen Titans, number 44. First appearance of Dick Grayson as Nightwing. Origin of Deathstroke, Slade Wilson. This was also signed by George Perez, and this one is a 9.4.
So you should do a video like before, like here are the grades before, and then maybe a cracking video and a pressing video, like to show the journey.
Yeah.
And then compare like what the grades came back as.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do. I'm gonna submit them to LA Comic-Con this upcoming Saturday. So I got to crack these open and as soon as possible, and you know, press them, and we'll see, you know, what the grades are.
You got work to do.
I got work to do. Let me see if there's any more comments. So that was our last slide. I don't think we're going to be back next week. Rob's going to be in Anaheim. I'm going to be in LA on Saturday, and I think we're going to take a week vacation, and we'll be back in 2 weeks. You know, to be all professional and not be all crazy like I am all the time. You know, right before we go on.
Hey man, you're going to get footage, and you're going to have like enough content for another type of show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're really like looking for something to do.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna get some great footage at LA Comic-Con.
And we'll get your opinion on Disneyland, what you thought of it. You know, you don't go as often as me, so I'm just curious to see what your opinion is on Disneyland. Hopefully it won't be too crowded. You know.
Yeah, I'm hoping too. I mean, it's a Sunday, but everyone says it's just crowded all the time now.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when we went, that's the first time we went on a Friday, but this is the first time we didn't get these those fast track tickets, or whatever they're called, you know,
the lightning lane.
Lightning lane. We didn't get those, and we were in each ride. It took less than 20 minutes for each ride.
Well, we went during the summer. We went back in like that first week of June, and we were able to do everything that we wanted to do. So you know, but there's some things that we want to do, like the Haunted Mansion and you know, the holiday stuff. So yeah, I'll let you know. I'll report back, and then hopefully I'll have my print ready to go, the new print in a frame. But yeah, man, we can compare notes.
Yep. Until next time, everybody, we're probably going to take a week off. We'll see you in 2 weeks. I always say this at the end, go out and buy a comic book and read it. You guys take care. Until next time, bye.
All right, later.